The lawsuit challenging Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban will move forward. A Dane County judge ruled against the Sheboygan County District Attorney's motion to dismiss the case. The judge disagreed with the DA's interpretation of the legal language in the ban, which was grounds for his motion. Wisconsin's abortion ban went back into place last year when the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. I'm joined now by Gracie Skogland. She's a legislative PAC director for Wisconsin Right to Life. Gracie, thanks so much for taking the time to be here.
Thank you for having me, Sarah.
Of course. So let's get into it. What was your reaction to the judge's decision to allow Attorney General Call's lawsuit to repeal the 1849 abortion ban to go forward?
We are disappointed, not surprised. The Attorney General has made clear from day one of Roe being overturned that this is his intent. But of course, we are saddened. This is a life-saving law. We have met some of these children that are here today in our state because of this law. So we see this as a step back, but ultimately the question's still to be answered.
You mentioned that you have kind of met some of the children who you say are here because of this law. So you have been aware of situations within the last year that this state law has been kind of enforced?
Absolutely, in the sense that there are more women than ever coming to pregnancy resource centers and seeking support to have their children here in our state. And we have heard directly from women who had appointments at Planned Parenthood that were canceled when Roe v. Wade was overturned, and they instead walked through the doors of a pregnancy resource center and have their children today. So that's been deeply moving for us, but also reminds us that we have so much work to do to ensure that those women have the support that they need.
So I'm curious to get your take on interpretation here, interpretation of the law. So, the judge's kind of interpretation of it here was that it prohibits people from killing fetuses by assaulting or attacking the mother. The judge says the legal language doesn't use the term abortion specifically. What was your reaction to kind of that interpretation?
We certainly have concerns with the interpretation. We believe that it's very clear that this is an anti-abortion statute. But again, ultimately this will likely go to the state Supreme Court to be decided. So we will continue in our hope and continue to fight for the law.
Are you concerned about the future of this bill or of this law should it make it to the Supreme Court, which it likely will?
We are concerned. Of course, we knew that the pro-life issue was a very integral part of the spring elections, and we are disappointed in the outcome. But ultimately, what we have seen in our state over the past year is the most important thing we can do as pro-life advocates is ensure that women have the support that they need, because oftentimes women feel abortion is their only option. Potentially they have housing insecurity, healthcare insecurity, and those are all issues that we can work on regardless of the legality of abortion. And in many cases, we can find bipartisan solutions. So I think that's where we've landed as pro-life advocates, is having that realization. Of course, we hope that this law will be protected and enforceable, but if not, this is where our path lies.
So let's talk a little bit about, moving forward on the kind of topic for 2024. The 2024 election, I think abortion will probably be another major topic going forward here. So what might be your plan to drive turnout among supporters come 2024?
We are launching our largest ever grassroots campaign. We started a few months ago. We have volunteers all across the state who are canvassing, going door to door, making phone calls, and really engaging voters on how they feel about the issue of abortion. And not necessarily trying to convince them one way or the other off the bat, but just get a sense of where Wisconsinites are at. And what we have seen is many Wisconsinites do favor some protections for life. That may not be where we are at Wisconsin Right to Life, but it's something powerful that we can work with. So that's where our messaging is focused on, finding the common ground on protecting life and supporting women, finding bipartisan solutions to support women.
So we've touched on this a little bit, but I just want to, talk a little bit about the mission of Right to Life. Since Roe v. Wade has been overturned, would you say that, the decision by this U.S. Supreme Court last summer to overturn it has changed the mission of your organization at all? It sounds like, you kind of moved towards ways to try to appeal to more people in a different way and try to find compromises. Has that changed, or is that something you've always done?
Our mission has always been to uplift women, but I will say we have never given out as many grants to women who are facing an unexpected pregnancy. Pregnancy resource centers are seeing up to double the clients. So while that's always been an integral part of what we do, now it is truly our main focus. Legislatively, with our grassroots, with our volunteers, it all comes back to the pregnancy resource centers and these women, and just ensuring that they have the support that they need.
Do you think that can be any common ground to be found between pro-life organizations and, people who are, pro-abortion rights?
Absolutely. We have seen that supporting women through expansion of Medicaid coverage has bipartisan support. For example, we can have conversations about supporting pregnancy resource centers, and that has been bipartisan nationwide. So I think that we truthfully can find those solutions and make real change for women in our state.
Okay, well, Gracie Skogland, thank you so much for being with us here on Cap City Sunday.